Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Windward Buddhist Temple's virtual Sunday Obong service. This morning, we'll begin the service as usual by chanting the Vandana and Tisarana. Following that, I will go to the altar and chant the Sambhu Jo. The Sambhu Jo acknowledges the presence of Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and all the Buddhas of the 10 directions. And then read an aspiration. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Bujo mina nyorai niudo jo On the occasion of the Wynwood Buddhist Temple's Obong, the gathering of joy, we gather here to receive the Dharma in the presence of Amida Tathagata, the embodiment of great wisdom and compassion. We reflect upon and appreciate our ties with those who have passed away. While chanting the sutras, we recall the story of the monk Moggallana and his vision of his mother's suffering in the realm of the hungry spirits. We see that we too plant the seeds of suffering through our insatiable hunger for things. We see that we too are set free from this torment through the reliance of the transcendental wisdom and compassion that embraces and transforms us. Hence, like Moggallana, we rejoice in the spirit of awakening. Namo Amida Butsu. Amanda. The sutra for today is Shoshin-ge, and this is found on page 10 of the Red Service book. Following the sutra, we will sing the Gatha Obong Obong, its festival day. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Shigiho Ozomo Satsui Nishi Zai Seiji Zai Obusho Token Shobutsu Jodo In Kokudo Ninden Shizen Mak Konyo Mujo Shushogan 情報づけう大具勢五行四唯四少女十世名称文字法不法無量無変更無下無体公園の少女歓喜し栄光不断難事無所公超日学校精進説一切群上無故障本願名号少女語死心心行願因上等学書大涅槃一死滅道願成就如来所以公修世唯説弥陀本願会五辱悪事群上会往生如来如実言納仏一年喜愛心不断煩悩徳涅槃凡上逆法再現入如修死入開一味摂取信仰上昇後理の水波無明暗頓内心造死運無上不真実真人天非如日光不運無運無思下妙無暗薬心謙虚大狂気即応超絶合悪臭一切善悪凡部人妄心如来具世願仏言五大小下者 善人妙分大理ke미나仏本願念仏邪見教満なく修行信行十字真理難難中死難昔アマンダムナマンダムナマンダムナマンダムナマンダムナマンダムがにしくどく平等性際同発もない心往生あらこナマンダブスナマンダブスナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダ
Good morning, Windward Buddhist Temple people. This is Alan Murasaki. Ohayou gozaimasu. Today, I want to thank Sensei for inviting me to speak to you today for Obon service. You know, when Reverend Bert called me, invited me to come and speak, he asked me, "Oh, can't you send me your profile and a picture?" And I thought, okay, no problem. Then I thought about it, I was like, he wanted a profile. So I descend on this. Does that pretty much look the same? No, this is not Reverend Bert. This is me. Anyway, the time of year of Obon has come again, and it's my turn to share my Dharma ramblings with you. So let us begin with meditation. Let us all join our hands together in Gassho. The Japanese phrase Ichigo Ichie literally means each moment only once. To me, it says to cherish each moment and encounter, for it will never happen again. It reminds us how delicate and fragile life is, for every meeting with someone is a chance occurrence, never to be repeated. We are thankful to be embraced by Amida's wisdom and compassion. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. I hope all of you are looking forward to this week's Bon Dance. Oh, oops, sorry, this must be an old talk. Can you imagine it's been a couple of years already without a Bon Dance? Except for those virtual ones you see on YouTube and on the internet. This pandemic has been a great teacher for all of us. How we have been reminded of the many things and the things that we've taken for granted in our lives, like visiting our friends and family on the neighbor islands, going to the grocery store or restaurants to eat, coming to temple services, or going to Vegas. Once again, the truth of change has manifested itself in my life. Please take this season of Obon to to learn your 3 R's. Not the 3 R's you learned in school, but the 3 R's of Obon. Remember, reflect, and rededicate. First, remember your family and friends that have passed away. Whether it's the past year or during your lifetime, for our loved ones, our family, friends, co-workers, even strangers that have given us so much in life to be thankful for. Second, let's reflect or think about how we still live in a relationship with those people that have passed away. Our relationship didn't end the day that they died, but it still continues. Why do thousands of people of all faiths and all religions gather together every year for lantern floating down at Ala Moana Beach Park? Or gather at the temples to Bon Dance, or visit their family grave, Haka. We strengthen our ties, our memories, our relationships with those who have passed. And third, it is rededication. Let us rededicate ourselves to be thankful for the things that are being done for us in the past, the present, and will be done for us in the future. To rededicate ourselves as Buddhists is to try again and again to live the teachings daily, always embraced and uplifted by Amida's wisdom and compassion. This, for me, is the 3 R's of Obon. For me, Obon is not about death, it is about life. Living each day, each unrepeatable moment in joy and gratitude. Obon is when I celebrate my mother's gifts and life lessons she taught me, not remembering her death some 23 years ago. Obon is when I am grateful for my parents, my grandparents, my ancestors, their hard work and sacrifice for me to be here today. Bon Dance is when we feel the energy of our ancestors in our hearts, minds, and spirit. They are not watching us from far away Pure Land, but they are within us and dancing with us. For me, at Bon Dance, when the sound of the taiko and the sanshin resonates in my heart and soul, dancing with joy and gratitude with hundreds of others as one single unit. Thus, Obon is for the living. I want to share a story with you that I got off the internet, which represents my what I want to talk to you today about. And this is the story of the king and his 4 wives. You may have heard it before because Reverend Bert likes to tell all kinds of stories. So I hope he didn't tell this one. This story took place in ancient India, and at that time, the king or men in general were able to have several wives. And so this story originated in the Agama Sutra, one of the Buddha's early sermons, and it goes like this. Once there was a king who had 4 wives. According to the social system and circumstances of ancient India, it was possible for a man to have several wives. And I also found out that during the Heian period in Japan, about 1,000 years ago, it was not unusual for a woman to have several husbands. But I'll save that for another sermon, Joy. The Indian king had become ill and was about to die. At the end of his life, he felt very lonely, and so he asked his first wife to accompany him to the Pure Land. He said, "My dear wife, I loved you day and night. I took the greatest care of you throughout my whole life. I adorned you with the finest gold and jewelry, gave you the nicest and most expensive clothes. Now I'm about to die. Will you please go with me to the Pure Land after my death?" He expected her to answer yes, but instead she answered, "My dear husband, I know you have always loved me and treated me well, and you are going to die soon. Sorry, now it is time for me to separate from you. Goodbye, my dear." And she left. The king was shocked. How could he do that to him? He then called his second wife to his bedside and begged her to follow him in death. His second wife was very beautiful, and he would show her off to everyone. And today we call this a trophy wife. "My dear second wife, you know how I loved you," the king said. "Sometimes I was afraid you might leave me, but I held on to you strongly. My dear, please come with me to the Pure Land." The second wife expressed herself rather coldly. "Dear husband, your first wife refused to accompany you after your death. How can I follow you? You love me only for your own selfish desires. After you die, I'm going to remarry. Goodbye." And she left. Lying in his deathbed in despair, he called his third wife and asked her to follow him. The third wife replied, with tears in her eyes, "My dear, I sympathize and I feel for you, and I feel sad for myself. But I cannot go with you to the Pure Land. But I shall accompany you to the graveside. This would be my last duty to you." The third wife thus also refused to follow him to death. His 3 wives had refused him, and he thought, what is he going to do? And then he remembered he had another wife, his 4th wife, for whom he didn't care very much for or really thought about. He treated her like a slave, and he had always shown much displeasure with her. He now thought that, gee, if I asked her to follow him to death, she would certainly say no. But his loneliness and fear were so bad that he made the effort to ask. And he told Astor, "Would you please accompany me to the other world?" And to his surprise, the 4th wife gladly accepted his request. "My dear husband," she said, "I will go with you. Whatever happens, I am determined to be with you forever. I cannot be separated from you." The king, hearing the response, was so overjoyed and realized how grateful he was to this wife. And that is the end of the story. And then the Buddha concluded the story as follows. Every man and woman has 4 wives or 4 husbands. What do these wives signify? The first wife is our physical body, our love for our body day and night. In the morning, we wash our face, we put on our clothes, on shoes, our tie. We give food to our bodies. We take care of our bodies, like the first wife in the story. But unfortunately, at the end of our life, the body, the first wife, cannot follow us in death. As it is stated in Daniel's letter on the white ashes, when the last breath leaves our body and the healthy color of the face is transformed, we lose the appearance of radiant life. Our loved ones may gather around and lament, but to no avail. When such an event occurs, the body is sent to an open field and cremated, leaving only the white ashes. This is the destination of our physical body. What is the meaning of the second wife? The Buddha said the second wife stands for our fortune, our material things, money, property, fame, position, our job that we worked so hard to attain. We are attached to these material possessions and things. We are afraid to lose them and wish to possess even more. There is really no limit to our greed. At the end of our life, these things cannot follow us either. Like that old saying goes, we can't take it with us. Whatever fortune we have piled up, whatever gold and riches, we must leave it. When we came into this world, we came in empty-handed. During our life, we have the illusion that we obtained a fortune. And now at our death, our hands again are empty. We can't hold on to our fortune after death, just as the second wife told her husband, "You hold on to me with your ego-centered selfishness. Now it is time to say goodbye." What is the meaning of the third wife? Everyone has a third wife. This is the relationship between us and our parents, our brothers, sisters, our relatives, friends, and society. They will go as far as holding funeral services, going to the graveyard, holding memorial services, remembering us at Obon. They are sympathetic and saddened, but they will not go along with us again in death. And so we cannot depend on our physical body, we can't depend on our fortune, and we can't depend on our relationships. We are born alone and we die alone, and no one will accompany us after our death. But wait, Shakyamuni mentioned the fourth wife, right? Who would accompany her husband after death. So the fourth wife was the king's karma, or karmic condition. Not the what goes around comes around kind of karma, but all the past and present causes and conditions that have affected the king's life. I call this our spiritual life or our Nembutsu life. When we deeply observe and recognize that our minds are filled with anger, greed, dissatisfaction, we are having a good, truthful reflection of our own life. The anger, greed, and dissatisfaction are karma, the law of causation. We cannot be separated from our own karma. As the fourth wife told her dying husband, "I will follow you wherever you go." What we have done in the past affects all in the present and future. We should always be mindful and aware of our actions, our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. For everything that we will do will affect another in this present moment or in the future. What happens is that we spend so much time on working to get a great body, a healthy body, we forget about others. We strive to build our wealth and possessions and a comfortable lifestyle, but we forget about those in suffering, sorrow, and loneliness. We have relationships with family, friends, those around us, but when was the last time you spent time with them? Not just only on Zoom or Facebook, but real time with family. Too often we hear the phrase, the only time that family gets together is during weddings or funerals. And the last thing on our minds is nurturing this spiritual or our own Nembutsu life. Like the fourth wife, our Nembutsu life is usually last on our priority list. But it is this that will provide us the greatest peace of mind, the greatest sense of peace, to appreciate every bump and pothole in the road and the smooth and straight parts of the road of life. Our expression of gratitude to all things. So how did you like that story? Well, I thought it was a good one, and I think Reverend Bert is going to use this one too in the future. But you know, Bon, we celebrate this fourth wife, our karmic connection with all of our loved ones, past, present, and future. We remember them for all that they have done for us, even today. We reflect on our own life at this present moment, unrepeatable, and thus to be treasured above all else. We rededicate ourselves to taking care of all of our wives because they all are important in our life. When was the last time you said, "Thank you, car. Thank you, house. Thank you, temple. Thank you, air conditioning. Thank you, mommy. Thank you, daddy. Thank you, sensei"? Just having a sense of gratitude or appreciation to the little and big things in your life is all taking care of our Nembutsu life. How many of you have heard the phrase, happy wife, happy life? Come on, raise your hands. Now you know that's a Buddhist phrase. But then again, didn't the Buddha leave his wife? Well, that's another sermon. The phrase again, Ichigo Ichie, literally means one meeting, one opportunity. It is often said, once in a lifetime chance, or this moment will never come again. So let us appreciate and cherish this time together. This saying was used in the Peace on Your Wings play, about 10 years ago, and also on a magnet that I bought from Tanimoto Dharma Inspiration Store in Hilo. Ichigo Ichie reminds me that every chance to get together is a one-in-a-lifetime experience, never to come again. I am grateful for this one meeting, one opportunity. Even though opportunities come and go every minute of the day, we'll never have the same experience twice. Whether it is good or pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad, win or lose, we can only be thankful that we could have an experience like this at this time in our lifetime. So remember, the next time you're in Vegas, you only live once. Go to the Megabucks. So as you are dancing around in the virtual Bon Dance Circle this weekend, eating your homemade spam musubi or andagi, please remember and do your 3 R's of Obon. Remember, you are here because all of those who have come before you. Reflect. Think of how you have been blessed with your relationships, past, present, and future, and rededicate yourself to doing all you can to keeping all your wives happy. And also, don't forget your real wife, too. Let us close with Gassho. Let us put our hands together. Let us cherish each moment and each encounter, for it will never happen again. This reminds us of how delicate and fragile life is, for every meeting with someone is a chance occurrence never to be repeated. We're grateful for this one opportunity to encounter the Dharma once again. We are thankful to be embraced by Amida's great wisdom and compassion. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much.
The second gatha for today is Homeward I Go, and this is followed by the Nembutsu. Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida, Namo Amida Butsu. Those who reach the pure land of happiness return to this evil world of the five defilements, where, like the Buddha Shakyamuni, they benefit sentient beings without limit. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much for attending this virtual Obong service this morning. And please join us once again next week, as our speaker will be Bob Nishita, who is a board member of the Wynwood Buddhist Temple. Take care. See you again.